Welcome guys, and it is LSHD Gaming here, and I know the first thing you're going to notice is that my voice is, for lack of a better word, fucked, and I do apologise about that, but I promised I'd bring you guys a review, so here it is. We're going to talk about the maps, the new heroes, we're going to give it ratings and then an overall rating. At the end we'll talk a little bit about the star cards. So first of all, let's quickly talk about the star cards and stuff. We've got the new binocular thing where it tags on and it, you know, everyone becomes almost effectively like a scan pulse. You can see them through walls where they are. It's a nice thing, nothing special about that. I won't get too overhyped about it. Then you got the shock grenade, which makes everyone go and they're shocked. It's really easy to just chip. It's basically like triple tap square and you're out. At first I thought it was going to be overpowered. It's not really as overpowered as people think it is, as long as you've got, you know, you can pretty much button mash. But it's a nice little feature that's added in. But the new main one that is overpowered is Disruption. That thing is OP as hell. You can just kill people so easily. They can come up behind you, you can click Disruption, bang, all of a sudden their blasters have overheated, you can turn around, you can pop some bullets in them, kill them, they can't even react. There's nothing they can do unless they can switch to, say, a scattergun in time and kill you. So overpowered, that needs nerfing. Anyway, let's get into the map. So what you're seeing in the background is Cloud City. This is a decent map. It's very wide open. It supports the larger game modes of Turning Point, Supremacy, Walker Assault, and the new game mode Sabotage, which we will talk about later on. And it's very wide open. It's very much in favour of the Empire or the Imperials, whatever you want to say, as especially in Turning Point it can be very hard to capture this very last point, which I'm showing off now how easy it is to defend and stop them winning. But overall as a map, the colour scheme's really nice. They've used what they could see in the film, which was pretty much naught, may I say, and then added their own customization to it, their own livelihood to it, and I think it's a really nice map, this Cloud City map. I did struggle with it at the beginning, but since I've got a chance to play it a lot more, it's definitely a good map. And for me, I'd probably give the map a rating 7 or 8 out of 10. Let's be generous. Let's be generous. We'll go 8 out of 10 for this map. Anyway, on to the weapons. Now the weapons, the EE4 is so overpowered. I think I'm using the EE4 in every single gameplay on all the maps that you will see throughout this review. It just melts people. It's just by far and away probably one of the best guns in Star Wars Battlefront now, and you will just munch people with 1 or 2 bursts. It's great at short distance, it's great at long distance. It's just an overall fantastic weapon. Now on to the next weapon, which is the X8 Night Sniper. That weapon for me is awful. When you, obviously with being a night sniper, when you toggle in and you have a look, everything lights up like it's at night. Now on maps like I don't know, Endor in Supremacy where it's at night, that could be really useful, but the problem is it makes it harder to aim, or at least it does for me when that happens. And that's why for me, especially when you combine it when you've got to put 2-3 bullets into people with it and it's like a single shot, it's not that great of a weapon. I don't see many people using it, even though loads of people have unlocked it. Pretty much with the Bespin DLC, just go straight to the EE4 and you will have an absolute field day with the weapon. It's everything you want in a blaster. They've used the EE3 and they've made it feel like lighter. The bullets just glide really soft and it's just like a short little jolt. Like you can use other weapons like like a heavy blaster. This is just, it's like they float out and then they do so much damage. The weapon is wonderful, but the Night Sniper for me, I wouldn't even recommend unlocking it really. I'd just say use that weapon when you get to be Lando. Just choose Lando and you can see what the weapon's like. Now you got to remember Lando's is a buff version of that, and even then it's not that great. First of all, I need to mention this. The map rotation was completely wrecked. You could pretty much never play the Carbonite Freezing Chamber, which is what I'm going to pop up now for you to be able to watch. But with the new update that came out a day or so ago, they fixed that, so now the Carbonite Chamber will come up a lot more and Cloud City will come up a lot less, which is fantastic because that needed to be done. It was almost impossible to play Carbonite Chamber. I did a stream for like 7 hours and only played it 2-3 times, which was crazy. Anyway, onto the Carbonite Freezing Chamber. This map is beautiful. They have captured everything about Star Wars and created their own vision of the Carbonite Chamber rooms like that lead up to it, and they've done a fantastic job, especially when you think of, when you get to the Carbonite Chamber, if you press square, people will go and they go down and they get frozen in carbonite. That's an awesome little feature. As you see now, I walk in, it's just visually beautiful. And then you've got here the little like pipe rooms that lead into other rooms, and when you walk in it, it lights up just like in the films, and it's just absolutely fantastic. When you think of the lightsaber battle between Vader and Luke, you could recreate it on this map to perfection. It's just absolutely wonderful, especially as well at that scene where they have the massive window. You can look out at that and see the drop. It's absolutely fantastic. And for me, this is by far and away the best map in the Star Wars Bespin DLC. And because it's that battle between Vader and Luke was such a big thing in the films, and they've replicated the map so well, I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to do it. 10 out of 10 map for me. There's upper levels, there's lower levels, there's little pipe rooms, you know, there's everything you want, and then there's the carbonite chamber, freezing rooms, and stuff like that. It's fantastic. It's not like Cloud City at all. It gives you a completely different feel of Bespin, and it's wonderful. It's a really wonderful map. I don't really know how else to describe it. Anyway, the new game mode Sabotage, of course, you have 2 rounds effectively. First round, the rebels have to get to the gas generators, defend them till they blow up, once they've been activated to blow up, and then the second round is when you then try and run as the rebels to the extraction point and get the hell out of there once the time limit's expired. Now there's a little thing in it where in the first round the rebels will get 4 heroes, and then in the second round, when it's time for the Imperials to try and get to that extraction point and stop them, that is when the Imperials, or the Empire, whatever you want to call them, will get their 4 heroes. It's a really nice mode. It's like mixing, I don't know really what to describe it as. It's like mixing supremacy with heroes versus villains. It's just funky, and it's really nice, and I enjoy it. I really do. For me, it's better than Extraction, and that's just me. I like Extraction, but Sabotage is just so wonderful, and so many heroes on the map. It's like a galore of everything you want in heroes versus villains, and scenarios you could actually imagine with Vader there trying to get into the extraction point, and you know, there's just, I don't know, loot left in there, and it's just absolutely fantastic. Now, onto the new heroes. You have Dengar and you have Lando. Lando Calrissian is the worst of the two. I love Lando, so don't think I'm being biased here. Lando is far and away one of my favourite people from the films, but in game it just doesn't work. And you know why? Because he uses that X8 Night Sniper, which I absolutely hate. It is more overpowered. It is a better weapon in Lando's hand than the normal one that you get with the Rebel soldiers, which you'd expect, but it's still not that good. The fact that when you aim down, you pretty much have to make sure you don't aim down sights, because if you do, all of a sudden your aim starts going like that. As for his abilities, I like it. You can put the thing down and it will shock them, and they'll be like, obviously they won't sound like a fish out of water, or whatever you want to call that, a bear with cramp, but and his other abilities, they're pretty cool. You know, you can shoot, and it's like a one burst on them, you know, that's quite nice, but it's really nothing special. And when you compare that to Dengar, who's got the frenzy, where he just shoots and it just so many bullets at once, it's incredible. Then he can throw the mines down on everyone, it blows everyone up. And then you've got the Hurricane Strike, where he hits you with his big blaster, which actually was broken because you could actually one hit and kill Luke. They've now fixed that in a patch, so that really needed to be fixed, so that was a problem with it. That really had to be done, so I'm glad they've done that. Now the gameplay you're now seeing in the background is the third of the 5 maps, and this map is Bionic Laboratories, and this one hosts mainly Sabotage and Drop Zone. The new Drop Zone, of course, is now 1st to 10, and then you have 3 pods on the map. It works really well. I think they needed to do this because it would be too chaotic as 16 versus 16 with just the 1 pod. Of course, you can play other game modes on this map like Blast. You can't play Walker Assault and stuff like that. It just wouldn't work. But once again, it's a nice map. It's like a smaller version of Cloud City, compact, much smaller, but much smaller spaces, I should say, but there's still the options for the long range line of sight. It's definitely a great map, so for me this one is probably a little bit better than the Cloud City map, just because it's smaller, a lot more rooms. Everything just feels a little bit more polished about this map than the Cloud City one. It seems like they put more effort into it, so for that I give this map an 8.5 out of 10. Once again, a really high one. It's better than quite a lot of the base ones in the game. But yeah, as for the heroes, Dengar by far and away is just the best. And I don't know why my computer's going off. Damn you, computer, you're so rude. Right, nice ultimate Twitch bot while he can bugger off. He's ruining it. Anyway, let's get back into it. Where were we? This map is wonderful. Let's talk about the fourth and the fifth map. The fourth map being you have Administrator's Palace. That really gives you a Cloud City platforms feel from the original Star Wars and Star Wars Battlefront 2, the PlayStation 2 version, but obviously with mods, so PC version really gives you that feel. Obviously that hosts Sabotage again. As I said, I love the new game mode Sabotage. I really do think they've done a good job with that map. It's very dark feel. It's got some nice little Easter eggs when you can see Slave 1, although it's not really an Easter egg, you can't miss it. As soon as you activate one of the points in the Sabotage, Slave 1's literally on the platform there anyway, so that's not really so much of an Easter egg, I should say. It's just it's Slave 1 on the map, but it's still awesome to be able to see Slave 1 close up and personal. It's a wonderful map, pretty even again. Rebels or Imperials can win on Sabotage on that game mode. It's very much a toss-up, so the balance is pretty good on that map. I tend to find that the Empire wins more on that map, but it's still a toss-up really. It could go either way. It depends how smart you play it, and that's the thing with Sabotage. Depending on how smart you play it is how it goes. Now, the fifth and final thing that was added was, of course, Fighter Squadron. I don't like Fighter Squadron. I suck at it. Now, this is the biggest Fighter Squadron ever, and for Fighter Squadron people, this is visually fantastic. May I point out, you know, you can see Cloud City over there, and you just want to go over to Bespin, and you're like, oh, I wish I could land. You know, obviously it's not space battles, which is what people want in Fighter Squadron, but it's the best Fighter Squadron map they've introduced. So for Fighter Squadron people, this map is a 9 out of 10. It can't be a 10 out of 10 because it's not space battles, and everyone wants space battles, I'm aware of that. But if you don't like Fighter Squadron, the fact that it's now first to 400 instead of 200, 200 was too short, 400 is too long. They need to change that and switch that to 300. I think everyone would agree. Otherwise you play 2 games of Fighter Squadron that go on forever. It's way too long. But that is pretty much going to cover everything I wanted to say. The new heroes are good. Dengar by far and away is very overpowered. Really good, especially against other heroes. But of course they've released a new patch now, which have fixed a lot of the issues that it first had. And I'm happy with that. It needed to be done. As for the maps, they are some of the best maps in the Star Wars Battlefront game. They seem like a lot of them they put a lot of effort into. So yeah, overall I'm going to give Bespin DLC an overall rating of a 9 out of 10. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And as always, may the Force be with you.